Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, we are thinking creatures. Let's accept that. We like to think. We think to make things go smooth. And we also know that sometimes we have to be spontaneous, be in the moment to resolve certain things, certain circumstances. Thinking helps to, create the path. Spontaneity is the way to deal with the moment, deal with the situation. We all know that intellectually and also practically. We are doing that. Now, that's all good. Until when the thinking turns to overthink, then that starts to create more stress in our lives, isn't it? The mind becomes the enemy. So, when we are overthinking, definitely we are thinking to resolve the conflict, the situation. We think to, make something go smooth. But have you ever stepped back from overthinking and asked yourself, why am I overthinking? No doubt you're trying to find the solution from your overthinking. But have you ever paused and asked yourself why you're overthinking? Have you ever been part of this inquiry? Probably you have, stopped your thinking by being part of the meditation and trying to relax yourself to find clarity, or being part of yoga or some physical exercise so you can rejuvenate, refresh yourself before you go back into your thinking mode. That is being part of something to settle. You're physically involved in it. You're putting the effort, physical effort. Again, have you ever stepped back and asked yourself, why am I overthinking? There's a reason for it. Yes, to find the solution. That's important. If you stay with why am I overthinking, you might see, different layers in you, the conditioning in you, the pattern you are holding on for your overthinking. This process will surprise you if you be part of it. You start to see the wave of mind, but mind means the wave of ideas linking to your surface movement. Not just a wave of ideas, but that wave of the ideas are supported by the root. That root itself is, the attachment. That attachment to something is making you think or overthink. And that overthinking is making your life stressful. So what is that attachment that is making you overthink? Now you're functioning from that attachment, and you don't want to let go of that attachment because of fear of so many things. Figure out what are those fears that is making you attached to that root and making you function from that root, making you overthink and stress in your life. This is the spiritual path. Not just the spiritual path, this is gonna help you to make your life go smooth in the relative sense as well, in the functioning world. If this inquiry is denied, your life is happening how it's happening right now, by overthinking and stressing. And that stress creates even more conflict in your lives, isn't it? When you stress, tendency is you fluctuate. The frustration, the friction, the conflict, the anger, the madness starts to come in when your overthinking is not helping. When your life is stressful, things, turn out even more entangled in further emotions. The overthinking itself is coming from the unseen emotion. So not to fluctuate further in life, we need to investigate why we overthink. Again, thinking is, part of our life. Thinking makes our life go smooth to some extent, no doubt. But right now the life is stressful because of overthinking. Now I'm saying that you are overthinking because of the attachment. Attachment creates the fear. The fear is making you hold on to that attachment, grip onto that root, that false foundation. If it's a true foundation, your life should be better. Your foundation is built on the false reality. That's why from there, everything is fluctuating. Everything is making your life stressful. So to make our life go smooth, we need to figure out how we are functioning. And we can see how we are functioning on the surface level. That is more experiential, practical, flow. That is more realistic. And if things are not smooth, we can use that experience to go back to figure out the root. Why am I fluctuating? Why my life is stressful? Why am I overthinking and making my life stressful? So that outer experience, the surface experience, help us to go back to the root. And if we can figure out by tracing back the experience backward to figure out the root, and if we see our life is functioning from that root, then we ask ourselves, why am I attached to this root? Why my life is happening from this? And then we see attachment, we see fear. We ask ourselves, why am I attached to this? Because of fear of a lot of stuff. Now, why am I afraid in life? Why am I afraid of losing certain things? Basically right now, why am I afraid of losing this root? That root that is making me, providing me the identity, providing me the comfort. Why am I afraid of losing it? Now, when we investigate on our fear, then we can trace back then that inquiry will help us to trace back the reason to have the fear in life. And we have to trace back the fear all the way until there is no fear is left. Fear is simply the idea of fear. If you follow the fear backward, we go all the way to no mind. No mind means no fear. See, we started with the overthinking, and when we ask ourselves why we are overthinking, then we can go back to the root of the overthinking. The root itself is the cause of the surface fluctuation, and the root itself is, our false foundation. The foundation is built on the experience, but not the true reality itself. And then we can go back, and that's the way to go back to no mind. No mind means no fear. No fear means, or no mind means no thinking. And that's the way to figure out the truth, the inner truth. Once we figure out the inner truth, then the overthinking drops. We become the awareness. We start to see life pulsate with awareness. The key to life is awareness. We understand that. And then, we're not overthinking now. We're allowing the awareness to come in. The mind is still there. Now we use the mind to connect the dots, not to create stress. We allow the awareness to be on the driver's seat, the key to life. And that's the way to, move forward in life. And that's the way to invite easy living, life without the mental conflict, life without, the inner fear. Life without the ego. The overthinking is, the ego is making you overthink. And the process backward is to dissolve the ego. Ego is there when the truth is missing. Ego dissolves when the truth reveals from the inquiry approach. And after that, life happens with awareness. So, again, if your life is in the mode of overthinking, you can pause and step back from overthinking and ask yourself, why am I overthinking? This would be a direct approach to dissolve the struggle from life. When the struggle is there, don't add something to deny the issue. If you want to resolve the issue, you have to investigate why the issue is there, rather than trying to ignore the issue and being part of something. Right now, what's happening in the world is, when the issue is there, we deny the issue by entertaining ourselves with, the physical world, which is, yoga, fitness, meditation. And that definitely, refresh you. But refreshing is not going to help solve the inner conflict. Refreshing is, like recharging yourself. After recharging yourself, you have to go back and resolve the issue. Resolve the root cause of the issue by eliminating the root. So you gotta think, you gotta think, is it helping those, stepping back from overthinking and being part of something is helping you to dissolve your overthinking, dissolve your stress from the overthinking, dissolve your fear, the inner fear for good. So sometimes, you have to ask yourself, whatever you're doing, is it helping you to, anchor you in clarity? If it's not, if it's just used for a momentary relief, you see that as a momentary relief. But what's the next step to really deal with the issue? Again, it comes back to self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is a direct way to look at the issue, to resolve the issue. So I invite you to look into your, overthinking issue today. Why? Because overthinking is making you stressful. So why am I overthinking? Simple. And that why is going to help you go back. No matter what answer resurface to your inquiry, keep using the answer to go back by asking why. Whatever answer comes in, why am I associating with this answer? Why do I, have this? Keep going with the why. So why is going to way to figure out the root, and the same why is going to help you eliminate the root to dissolve the stress from your life. This is the approach that will help you, figure out the truth and also help you make your life go smooth in the practical world. So it's the, path that gives you true freedom, inner freedom and outer freedom. Okay, hope this video makes sense. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe and support this channel. Okay, thank you. Take care. See you in the next video. Bye.